It's a good man right there. Come on up. I need to hear from Micah's brother, John. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. My name is John. I'm Micah's second eldest brother. He was my best friend. Before I get started, Ben asked me to read something for him, and I'd just like to do that. Micah John Clements was an amazing brother and friend. Growing, I was his protector against his older brothers that picked on him. I wonder who you're talking about there, buddy. I was gone for 4 years in the Army, and there wasn't a day that I wouldn't want to come home and defend Micah from a bully, and I always thought about it. Growing up, I remember Micah and we were inseparable. We played from dusk till dawn and sometimes later. We played many games together, from the Three Ninjas, for whoever doesn't know about that movie. Ben was Tum Tum and Micah was Colt. They played cowboys and Indians and Ninja Turtles. Even at a young age, he was caring and loved other people. He looked after me, and I him. I loved playing the game Risk with Micah after church and my dad and one of Dad's church friends. We did it every week. I didn't mind the long game. It was so much fun. We always tried to escape going to church, but we couldn't wait till afterwards. He would always try to make you laugh. You put him and John Clements in a room together. You prepare to laugh all night. I miss his patchy beard that I always wondered why he grew it out in the first place. I loved his competitiveness when playing board games. Lots of good times playing Risk and just any game at Christmas. I just miss him. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you this time. You're one of the reasons I'm still here, just being my brother. We love you and miss you, and we will never forget you. Thank you, Benny. So, as I was sitting here, panicking before I come up to talk, I was thinking how much laughter Micah is having right now, knowing that I have to do this. He loved putting me in an uncomfortable situation. I mean, he literally would try and do it every time. Micah was everything to me. He really was. He was my best friend. He knew me more than anyone. I love you, brother. I will miss you my whole life. Rest in peace.
Thanks, John. Caleb. I too had to write it down so I don't get lost. I'm very proud of Micah, and that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm proud of his smile. He had an amazing smile and pearly white teeth. I'm proud of how blue his eyes were. I was jealous of that, actually. I'm proud of his laugh and how he brightened a room. It reminded me of my pops, and they both had the same effect when coming in. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of how he dressed. I'm proud of how he rocked a pink shirt, so I wore one too. I'm actually very happy about his last Facebook picture. He put up a picture of Jesse and I with our new babies, and he said, "Happy Father's Day to my two oldest brothers. It definitely is a pleasure to see them raise their two..." Proud to be their brother. I'm not sure. Got cut off there. I'm also very, very proud that when Micah finally got out of the crib around 2 or 3, we all shared this room, and it was about this big if we went to the back. So there was 5 beds in it, and he didn't want to sleep alone, so I was the lucky recipient of his head on my shoulder for a year there. And I'm very proud of that. I actually remember that fondly, and will always remember that. I'm very proud of the way he loved his family and everybody else. And as it's already been said, he did that in a very, very special way. So, Micah, I will always love you, and I will always miss you. And I can't wait to see you again.
He was my baby brother. I was 8 years older than him. And so in a way I helped raise him. A big way. I don't even remember changing diapers for some reason. I don't know if I had to or not, but it seems like I would remember that. But I remember a million things about this guy. He was the cutest kid I think I've ever seen. He pulled his pants up to his belly button as a child and buttoned his collared shirt all the way to the top button. And yes, we teased him to no end about that, and Ben probably had to fight a couple of us over it. I loved Micah more than I loved just about anybody on the planet. He was one of my favorite people in the whole world. He lived with Amber and I for a while as he fought to try to beat the thing that ultimately took him. And that was one of the most special times in my life. When he lived with us, a couple of funny stories. Amber and I were really, really healthy at the time and probably hitting the gym like 5 or 6 days a week. And Micah came in and he was making fun of us. But by the time he left our house, he was eating grilled chicken breast and broccoli with no salt. I didn't put him up to that, but he was prepping for photo shoots by that point. Something that he loved to do. He loved kids. He loved my dog. He loved my wife. When he was a little boy, Amber and I have been dating for a long time, and she would come over and she had long blonde hair, and Micah would follow her around and pet her head, literally. My wife loved that kid, and she loved that man. Some of the text messages that she shared with me over the last couple of weeks, he would text her and he called her his sister. He meant it. He told her she was the best sister. Those two, I can remember a story about a couple of Thanksgivings ago where the two of them got together, and when they got together, they would talk in British accents. And they went around to the groups of 30-something of us saying, "Would you like to play charades?" Or some such game, who knows what. And then when no one wanted to play because we were all too busy doing whatever we were doing, they'd look at each other and say, "Well, they're boring," and go find someone else. That was who my brother was. Like they've said, he was a spark of sunshine and a spark of light in this world. And I don't want to diminish how much he struggled. I don't want to diminish his pain, because that was real too. And I hope, I'll just speak for me, but I know that I learned some things. I will make the phone calls. I will be there. I love you all. I'm not saying that I wasn't, because I was, and we were. but I will never not pick up the phone again. That's my goal. I love you. I love you. And I love Micah. Justin Park, one of Micah's best friends, literally knew Micah from the time that he was born. His mom was there the day that Micah was born. Wrote some pretty incredible things about Micah the night or the day that we all found out. I'm just going to read a little bit of it. Micah had many facets to who he was, and I saw them all, the good and the bad. There are so many things that no one would even believe me if I started listing them all off, but I'll relay a few. For instance, Micah passionately loved the word righteous and would say how he longed one day to be known that way. He desperately wanted to be a jack of all trades and to be able to work at any room that he walked into. Well, I can say he pretty much checked that box. He hated the things that he'd done that had hurt his mom because he'd appreciated her and loved her greatly. He wished he'd played more basketball, and he was making up for it lately. He loved his nieces more than he ever imagined that he would. He had many doubts, he had many vices, and he had demons that he fought most of his life, and one of them ultimately took him from us. But more than once he professed to me that he believed Jesus Christ was the Son of God and that he'd be his salvation when he died. I gotta read what I wrote because I don't know if I'll get through it. As I think about life and death, and specifically the death of my baby brother, I think about the fate of souls, the fate of his soul. Where's my brother? I believe in God. I believe there was a maker of this universe, a crafter, a designer of all this beauty and infinite intricacy that we know as life and as existence. Micah's death has made me deeply question what I believe about the maker, the great spirit of this universe. Is he good? Is he really love like they say? I've never searched this hard in the depths of my soul. Never. You see, I loved my brother. I loved him more than just about anyone on the planet. He was my youngest brother, my baby brother, and his passing taught me something. There are many forces that play in this world. Some cause pain and suffering, and some cause the things that are beautiful and lovely. I believe that the most powerful force on this planet is a thing called love. Nothing can change my love for Micah, not even death. If love really exists, and it really is the most powerful force in existence, that says something about the one who gave us the ability to love in the first place. It says a whole lot. My heart is broken because I love him. I've come to further believe that I can trust in God's love and grace since he passed. I don't believe that my brother is hurting, and believe that he's been welcomed into the arms of love on a level that is not understandable this side of death. I believe that my brother is at peace. And I love you, Micah, forever.